Big news in the theme park world, Cedar Fair and Six Flags have announced their intentions to merge into one major theme park corporation. Under this merger, Cedar Fair will remain the majority shareholder at 51.2% and Six Flags at 48.8%. Richard Zimmerman, who is the current CEO of Cedar Fair, will become the new CEO, while the CEO of Six Flags will be repositioned as an executive chair member. This new company will retain the name of Six Flags, which I am a little disappointed about, but understandable as it's the more well-known of the two. My emotions on this news are a little bit all over the place, but for now, I'm leaning more into the negative. Before we dive into my thoughts and opinions, do me a favor by clicking on that like button, and if you are new to my channel, love theme parks like Cedar Fair and Six Flags, please subscribe. Alright, let's talk about some positives. First, no longer will you have to purchase multiple season passes for both chains, but we'll have access to all 38 parks. I'm sure this new Platinum Pass, or whatever it's called, will be more pricey than now, but I think this will be a win for the consumer overall. For those who love their current membership plan with Six Flags, sorry, but I think that will be terminated by the end of 2024. The next positive, hearing that Richard Zimmerman will remain in control, gives me a little bit more faith in this merger. He has been the CEO of Cedar Fair since 2018 and has been part of that company for quite some time. If you ask me, I think he's been doing a pretty good job. He has kept the Cedar Fair chain afloat during the entirety of COVID. Okay, now let's transition over to some negatives. I can almost but guarantee you that some of these properties will not survive long after the merger. I could see, say, Six Flags America approaching the end of its days. The park has a lot of real estate, and being located near Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, this property could be worth a decent amount of capital. With King's Dominion not that far away, I could really see how this would become on the chopping block. On the Cedar Fair side, I'm not really sure which park could be up on the chopping block, but the closest parks I know in competition are Six Flags Magic Mountain and Knott's Berry Farm. For now, I don't see either park in danger, but I'm not leaving them out of the dark quite yet. I believe it's almost certain that a couple parks will be cannibalized and their attractions will be moved to other properties. Next, it's the competition. This merger of the two companies will form one of the largest, if not largest, theme park chain in the world. Instead of competing with each other, they will be essentially having a monopoly over the regional amusement park business. This means less of a drive to innovate and introduce new capital at their properties. Now, unlike other merchandise that you need to live and breathe, visiting your local amusement park is leisure, so if these parks don't continue to improve their properties, people will stop visiting and switch to other hobbies or vacation destinations. So as much as the whole competition thing seems daunting, I don't think it will affect as much as we might think it will. There are, of course, other worries over this whole merger. Will some of your beloved Cedar Fair attractions be renamed and themed to be a part of the whole DC universe? Honestly, I really don't think so. If Six Flags, as the new Six Flags, is smart, they will leave most of the Cedar Fair locations alone when it comes to jamming their IP into these parks. Cedar Point will remain Cedar Point, not Six Flags, but that doesn't mean that the same for every location. I could see some of the smaller parks like Michigan's Adventure or Valley Fair receive some DC attractions. So I think we can all rest easy knowing that Millennium Force will not become Superman the Ride or Raptor rethemed as Batman the Ride. Oh, and by the way, don't be surprised if some of these new for 2024 attractions announced for Six Flags get canned. Most of the attractions that have been announced for Cedar Fair are already under production, so I think they're safe, but we know how Six Flags loves to drag their feet when it comes to building their new roller coasters, so I wouldn't be shocked if Flash at Six Flags Great Adventure sort of vanishes into thin air. The same can be said about the shuttle coaster set to go to Six Flags over Georgia. The biggest thing I'm excited for is I hope that Six Flags properties get a little bit more Cedar Fair breathed into them. Hopefully this will be the turning point for DC Comics being partitioned off and not this out-of-control virus that infects every and all attractions in their parks. Hopefully it will become a rarity, making a new DC attraction something special and not the run-of-the-mill. Cedar Fair has been following the quality over quantity approach with their new attractions, so instead of hammering out a bunch of random flat rides, we will see more meaningful additions in the future. Again, this is what I'm hoping, especially with Richard Zimmerman being in charge, but we still don't know. So to recap, am I excited for this merger? No, I mean, there is still the possibility of getting shot down as it goes through the approval process, But it's not all doom and gloom either. I really don't think we need to worry about major rebrand at the most popular Cedar Fair parks, plus having one season pass to cover all parks will make coaster enthusiasts really happy. Well, that does it for today's video. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts on this whole process here in the future, but for now, that will do it. Until next time, this is X Screen Thrills.